I'm Dr. Kristen R. Bromley. This video series, which is part of my online music academy, specifically accompanies Note Reading Book 3 from my Method book series. Like all my books, this selection is available to purchase through Amazon and Google Play. For help, see the links in the description below. In the videos which are part of this specific course, I progress through the lessons in Note Reading Book 3, explaining and demonstrating concepts and playing each of the songs and exercises contained therein, so you can hear how they sound and play them right along with me. You are of course welcome to view these videos with or without the book, but with the book you can work through all the songs and exercises, and in the process come to know the entire fretboard and master the skill of playing written notes all along the neck. Alright, let's get to jamming in this lesson. Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It's so great having you join me here in these video lessons. This video goes with lesson 10 in Note Reading Book 3. So, in this lesson, we're going to be working on the key of A minor. So far, in lessons 1 through 9 in the book, we've worked in the key of C major. We started out with single octave scales and then filled out full positions, and then in the last lesson we actually worked on shifting between positions. So in this lesson we're going to work on the key of A minor. Now the key of A minor is relative with the key of C major. What's that mean? It means they have the same notes. But when you change the emphasis of each pitch based on where it is in the scale, it changes the sound or the tonality from major to minor or minor to major. So when we have C major, sounds like that. When we have A minor, playing it with a natural minor scale, I'm using the same notes, though I'm starting down on step 6, but it sounds different. So, as we work through this, we'll actually be reading in positions that we've already read in. We'll be using scale pitches that we've already read, but we're going to be doing minor tonality instead of major. The scale forms themselves are different because we're starting on A and we're playing from A to A in that minor key instead of C to C, which would be the major key. So the actual scale forms will be different that we're fingering, but they overlap directly with the same pitches that we've already been reading in the same positions that we've already been reading. So because of that, this will be probably kind of easy, or it should be easy in a way, a little bit of a review, even though we'll be working on some new scale shapes. So we're going to go ahead and dive in on page 58. We're going to start with the single octave scale in 5th position. So our root is down on the 6th string, and our index is positioned on fret 5, and then that scale just 1, 3, 4 is how we finger that. Next string 1, 3, 4, and then 1, 3. So when we play the C major scale in 5th position, you'll notice we've used all those, and then we have to go higher, but if we came lower, we come down to that A. So same notes we've already read, but we're there with A minor. Now, you're going to want to warm up on this scale a little bit, get kind of comfortable, and then we'll go ahead and read number 1. A minor scale, exercise number 1 there on page 58. So we're going to have 1, 2, ready, and... Okay, and over to page 59, we'll do number 2, which is also the A minor scale, exercise 2. So this one has some 8th notes, a couple places with 16th notes. We're just jumping right in with those rhythms. So we're already sort of familiar with these notes. So we're going to take it just a little bit slower than how I counted off the last one. We'll go 1 and 2 and ready and go and... Okay, and we'll go on to number 3, Volga Boatman. It's going to have 1, 2, ready, and. 3, 4. Let's take it a little bit faster. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, and we'll go on to number 4, Snake Charmer. Comes in on 4 and, so I'll give us a 3-beat count in, and then we'll come in on 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, that one's fun to even take faster and race right through. Let's take it a little bit faster. It's got 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, and we'll go on to number 5, bassing it up. 1, 2, ready, and. That one's also fun to take faster, so we'll do that. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, let's flip on over to page 60 then. And we're going to do that same scale form, the single octave form, but it's going to be in a higher octave. So we've had it down here in 5th position. Now at the top of page 60, you'll see that it tells us to play it up an octave. We're going to start at the 12th position. So the root is on the 5th string, and we're on the 12th fret with the 5th string with our index finger. Same fingerings, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3. So get comfortable with that scale. And then we'll go ahead and do number 6, which is the A minor scale, and this is exercise number 3. So we're going to be in this higher octave now. 1 and 2 and ready and go and. Okay, we'll go over to page 61 and play Volga Boatman. So you're going to have 1, 2, ready, and... Play it a little bit faster. So 1, 2, ready, and okay, and we'll do Snake Charmer up the octave as well, coming in on 4 and so you got 1 and 2 and 3 and take it a little bit faster. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, and we'll go on to number 9, bassing it up. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, and we'll take it a little bit faster. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, number 10, minor Lee. So this one has some triplets in it, just gotta watch for that. 1 and 2 and 3 and a go and a. Okay, so in moving on then, if you look at the bottom of the page, there on page 61, you'll see that we can play that same A minor scale starting on the 4th string. So we put our index finger at the 7th fret of the 4th string. We've got 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. And then you have a couple choices. You can play 2, 4 as it says there, because when we get to that B string, everything shifts 1 fret higher. Or you could maintain 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3 if you wanted to. Now in the directions it'll tell you to return and do numbers 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 in that position. I'm not going to do that here in the video with you, but if you'd like to, you can play along with the version that I did in 12th position. But you can play all those same melodies and scales practicing right there in 7th position. Now if you turn over to page 62, it will also mention that in 2nd position we can play that same scale. There's a thinness that sort of happens, I think, as we go to these lower strings or lower positions on the higher strings versus the lower strings in the higher positions. There's a little bit more warmth up there. Tonal differences of the location that we're in. But if my index finger on the 3rd string at the 2nd fret, I can play 1, 3, 4. When I get to the B string, I've got to shift up, or the 2nd string, to the 3rd fret, but I can still do 1, 3, 4 and 1, 3. So that's how we play that same single octave form in 2nd position and 3rd position. And so in learning that one, you could go back and play those same exercises, numbers 6 through 10, in that position. And that would be good, and you can redo that with the other parts of the video. I'm not going to replay it here with you. Continuing on though, on the bottom of page 62, we talk about the alternate form. So when we did the major scale, we learned a form in second position first, we learned how to do it in seventh position, and then we learned how to do it up the octave in the different positions that we could do that. And then we learned an alternate form. So now we're learning the alternate form for the minor scale. So with our pinky at the 5th fret, down there on the 6th string, I've got 4, and then on the next string 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4 on the next string, and 1. So, and that's the alternate form. The alternate form starts with the pinky, or it can start with the ring finger too, but depending on the scale. So I would take and redo numbers 1 through 5 earlier in the lesson, playing in that position. And I'm not going to replay it, but you can use those ones that I've already recorded in 5th position to play right along if you want to. Or you've got those exercises in your ear, you know what they sound like now. Now we can take that form, that alternate form, or form number 2, and we can transfer it to higher string sets and to higher octaves as well. So if I take my pinky up to the 12th fret, I can play it there in 9th position. And with this one, I can shift if I want to, put my index finger on the 10th fret. Just sort of maintains that same fingering. And if I was playing the full form, which we're going to do here in a minute, the full positional form, I might want to do that to continue and play the rest of the notes in that area. Or I can also use my middle finger when I get there. 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. So I can replace fingers. But there's that one on page 62. It also tells us that we can go to 4th position, put a pinky on the 7th fret on the 4th string, and we can play that form there in 4th and 5th position. Now with this one, 4, 1, 2, 4, then we slide up a fret. Simple as that, and I could read in that position. And those are all of them. All those that we have with the single octave forms. So you could read those and do those with the previous exercises as explained, but I'm going to go on and we're going to work through the positions. In the 5 positions again, we're going to do a little bit of work here. Okay, so once you've got those single octave forms down, you're ready to go on to the next part of the lesson, which we have there on page 63, sort of the bottom 2/3 of the page, where we're going to combine those single octave forms together to fill out the whole position in each area. Now, each one of these 5 positions that come about with playing the minor scale actually match exactly the ones that we did for the major. So A minor and C major, I mentioned at the beginning of the lesson, are relative keys. That means they have the exact same notes. So the 5 positions are going to be the exact same, but the actual scales shapes change because we're playing A minor instead of C major. So go ahead and start with this. And sometimes doing the new forms just sort of throws us, even though we're reading in the same position. So it's great to do. In some ways it may be totally easy, in other ways it may just trip up the mind. Play with that mind a little bit, especially as we hear the minor sounds instead of the major sounds. So we start off here in 2nd and 3rd position. We have the root note of A on that 6th string at the 5th fret. We stick our pinky there. And we have 4, 1, 2, 4 on the next string, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. Then we got to slide right on up to 3rd position and do 1, 3, 4, and then 1, 3 on the high string. So 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, and then we could come back down. And then we go down to the with our middle finger down to the 3rd fret, and we come back up. So you're going to want to get comfortable playing that scale, and you'll see that it overlaps with the same notes we used in that position for the key of C major. Once you're feeling comfortable, we'll go on and do these exercises. I'm going to go ahead with number 11, A minor scale, exercise number 4. So you're going to 1, 2, ready, go. page 64. Do number 12, the A minor scale, exercise 5. We're going to go 1, 2, and ready, and go, and... Okay, we'll do number 13, Cinnamon. 1 and 2 and ready and go, and... That one's fun to play a little bit faster. I'll do that. So 1 and 2 and ready and go, and... With that one, because I never had to use the F note that's up at the 6th fret, I actually just stayed in 2nd position and fingered it with different fingers most of the time. I didn't hardly shift. Sometimes we can do that. as we sort of learned in the last lesson especially, we don't always have to use the fingerings that are suggested as we're working on the scale. Sometimes in the music, there's a better way to do it, just depending on the passage of music. Okay, we'll go over to page 65 and do number 14, Wayfaring Stranger. Comes in on beat 2. I'll give us 3, 4, 1. So we're going to have 3, 4, 1. Okay. Moving on from there, down at the bottom of page 65, it talks about playing in 5th position and 4th position. So our index finger goes right there at the 5th fret. And it's the same as when we were playing C major in that position. So just like 2nd and 3rd position were the same, 4th and 5th position are the same, only we're starting on the root, down on that 6th string with our index finger. We have 1, 3, 4 on that 6th string, then 1, 3, 4 on the 5th string, 1, 3, or sometimes I'll use my pinky instead of my ring finger, so I can go to 4th position, 1, 2, 4, back up to 5th, 1, 2, 4, and then 1, 3, 4. So. Comfortable with playing that scale, and we can flip over to page 66 and we'll play number 15. We'll play numbers 15 and 16. So starting right there, we're going to have 1 and 2 and ready and go and Okay, and we'll go over to page 67 and do number 16. Drill ye terriers drill. 1 and 2 and ready and go and... Okay, we're going to go to the bottom of page 67 then and do the key of A minor in 7th position. Index finger goes on that 4th string on the 7th fret. And so we've got right there on that 4th string, then we've got 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, and then 2, 4. We fill out the rest of that position, 1, 2, 4 on the top string. So, and then as we're coming down, we've got 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1. So you want to get comfortable there. It's just like what we were playing when we were playing in C major in 7th position, but of course we're using that new scale that's minor, and it can take the mind just a little bit to get used to that. We'll flip on over to page 68. We'll do number 17. A minor scale exercise number 7. So you have 1 and 2 and ready and go and... Okay, we'll do number 18, Shalom Shavrim, peace my friend. Comes in on beat 4. So you have 1, 2, 3. Okay, and over to page 69. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. This one has these half-note triplets, so you kind of got to watch for that. We're going to go about here. 1, 2, ready, and... Okay, now as we move on, there on page 69, we get to work on playing in the 9th and 10th position. So that lowest root has our pinky at the 12th fret on the 5th string, 4th fret there, or I should say 4th finger there, and then on the next string we have 1, 2, 4, next string 1, 2, 4, we shift up to the 10th position and 1, 3, 4, and then 1, 3, 4. We come down, we've got 4, and you can use 1 or 4, 2, but we're playing at the 10th fret to finish off that low position in 10th position. 4, 3, 1, 3, 4, 1, 4. So just like that, and we'll go ahead and read some of these exercises. So number 20 there on page 69, A minor scale exercise number 8. 1 and 2 and ready and go, and okay, and we'll do number 22. Hey ho, nobody home. 1, 2, ready, and... Okay, and we'll do number 23. When Johnny comes marching home again. This one's in 6/8. I'll give us 1 and a 2 and so we'll catch that 1 and a 2 and. Okay, now if we go over to page 71, we got the key of A minor in position 12. So our index finger is there on the 5th string on the 12th fret. 1 3 4 1 3 4 1 3, and then 1 2 4 1 2 4. That's how it goes down on the low string 1 2 4 as well. So 1 3 4 1 3 4 1 3 1 2 4 1 2 4 4 2 1 2 4 1. So you want to get comfortable there. Okay, and then we'll do number 24 there on page 71 using that form. So we're going to have 1 E and a, 2 E and a, ready E and a, go E and a. Okay, and we'll flip on over to page 72 and do number 25, 900 miles. Comes in on beats 3 and 4. I'll give us 3, 4, 1, 2 in the count off. Here we go. 3, 4, 1, 2. 2. 2. 3, 4, 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2, off. Okay. Now, just as we did with the major scales, we could shift between these positions. So, right there is exemplified on page 72, shifting between A minor in position 5 and position 7. So that A minor scale, it's really in position 4 and 5 as we go down on that 3rd string to position 4. But going from there up to the 7th position, just like we had done, and right here, I should back up, just working within the 2-octave scale, we wouldn't be using the whole position. This keeps us in sort of a containable area to work within. We can shift up, though, to that higher position on any of those strings. So, on the 6th string, which is the first one there, and I'll just kind of walk us through these, and then at the end we can practice a little bit with one of them, and you can practice all of these with exercise number 26, which is at the end of the lesson. But let's just look at the different ways that we can do this. So we've got 1, 3, and then 2, 4 on that low string. And then we can just play the rest of that scale. So that's the first one. Easy as pie. 1, 3, and then 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. And these are going to relate to what we've done with the major scale. If we want to shift on string 5, it's the same kind of thing. We're going to have 1, 3 on string 5, and then 2, 4. So starting on that low 6th string, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, shift up to 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. So if we do that whole one, we've got 1, 3, 4. Now if we take a look over at page 73, we can practice shifting on string 4. Now with this one, we're getting up there 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, and then 1. We could go 1 and then shift up with our index finger 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 4. So if we do it that way, 1, 1, 3, 4, and that's what's written. So you could practice just shifting up with that index finger. Now another way would be to go 1, 3, and then 3, 4. So 1, 3, 3, 4. If we did it that way, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 3, 4. Okay, and if we look at shifting on string 3, we're going to be down in that 4th position. You can go 1, 2, and then go 1, 3, 4. So make that shift 1, 2, and then 1, 3, 4. And that's what's written there. So if we did that whole thing, you'd have 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1. You can grab with your pinky or ring finger 1, 2, and then 1, 3, 4, 2, 4. One works pretty slick. 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 4, 1, 2, 1, 3, 4. Another option is to go 1, 2, 4, and then 3, 4, 2, 4. So if I did that way, it'd be 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 4, 1, 2, 4, 3, 4. Okay, and if we were to shift up there on string 2, we have a couple options. So, as we come around 1, 2, 4 off the 3rd string, then we have 1, 2, and then 2, 4. So that's one way to do it. 1, 2, 2, 4. The other way you could do it is 1, 2, 4, 4. Now the way that's written is 1, 2, 2, 4, because that's probably the best way to do it. If we did the whole thing doing that, we'd have ready and 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 2, 4. And I'm using my 4th finger there on that 4th string instead of the 3rd to facilitate that shift. So 2, 1, 4, and then 1. And going up, I can do it that way. 1, grab with my pinky. But you can also do it 1, 3, so index and ring finger. Okay, so that's one way, or those are some great ways to go between position 5 and 7. Just like we did, you can go position 5 and then up to position 9, so skipping over a position, and this one continues with the same sort of form. So there on the bottom of page 73, we have 1, 3, 4, and then you're skipping over 2 frets, 1, 3, 4. I guess you're skipping over 1 fret to 2 frets higher, I should say. And then you continue on from there. So 1, 3, 4. That's how that one works there on page 73. And the thing that I like about these is that it uses just that same shape up to that next position that uses that same shape again. If we go over to page 74, we can do shifting on the 5th string. So with this one, on that 5th string, you got 1, 3, 4, shift up for 2, 4. So you can just practice that shift a little bit. So if we start on the low 6th string, we're going to have 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 4. Now if we do the whole thing, you'd have 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. And I just grabbed that top string with 2, which you could grab with the index finger to continue in the position, but since we're just doing the 2 octaves, I just stopped there. Okay, and if we shift on the 4th string, we're going to have this 1, 3, and then continue up 1, 2, 4. We're going to go 2 frets higher, 1, 3, 2 frets higher, 1, 2, 4. So you can just practice that a little bit. If we were to do the whole thing, it would be 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. Just like so. Now, of course, we can shift on the 3rd string as well. With this one, we're going to come up with this 1, 2, 4, and then 1, 2, 4. So it's the same exact thing. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. When I say the exact same thing, I mean the same fingerings. Now, if we do that whole thing, we go ready and... we can shift on string 2 as well. With that one, we're going to have 1, 2, 4, and then we have 1. Now I've been being lazy and just playing it with my middle finger, but if we were to continue up, of course I'd want to use my index finger, and then sliding up there with the index, you're set up to play the rest of what's in that higher position. But 1, 2, 4, 1. So if we play that whole thing, we've got ready and... All of these are great to get down. Now, when we were doing the major scale exercises where we were practicing shifting, I also did some ones where we had the root on the 5th string, shifting up to the next position or skipping over a position. And in this lesson, I'm just practicing with this 2 octave scale. You could do off the 5th string, but you're going to get up high on the neck, sort of out of most guitarists' reach, except with some guitars. So I'm not bothering with it. But when we get to the next lesson, we're working the key of G major and E minor. We'll work on those shifts a little bit together so you can get some ideas. And of course, there's multiple ways to shift beyond what is shown here. So this is just a great place to get started. Sort of sets us up to be able to shift really with any kind of position, and you could follow the same pattern and find other shifts between other positions. So there on page 75 is an exercise number 26, A minor scale, exercise 11. With this one, you could do any of the ones that we worked on or that are shown on these previous pages, but I'm going to focus on 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, and then 1, 3, 4, 1. So I'm just going to shift on that 4th string for the most part. Now if I come across a spot where I want to shift on one of the other strings instead, I can, but that'll be my goal, is to put my shifting on that on that 4 string, and I can do that index to index 3 4 or 1 3 3 4. It's just going to kind of depend on the reading, but I'll do it and I'll play it so you have an example of playing it one time. You can play it with me as many different ways as you want to, but you'll have one time to play with me on this exercise. Okay, here we go. 1 and 2 and ready and go and Okay, and that wraps us up for this lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to start the key of G and E minor. That's 1 sharp. We'll actually be using the same scale forms that we've already used for major and minor. We'll just be doing those in different positions where we're actually reading in the key of G. So for example, we read the key of C at the 7th position, or the key of A minor, as we were doing in this lesson. But for the key of G, we come down where that root is on the G, so down in 2nd position, and we actually stay in 2nd position. Where we've already read, when we use that scale form, we add an F sharp instead of an F natural, and we read in the key of G. So that's what we'll be doing next. It's going to be great. I hope you're having fun playing the guitar. Take care, and we'll see you next time. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For help with other guitar playing skills, check out more of my method books and the numerous lessons available as part of my online academy here on YouTube. You can find more information about me and my products at kristenbromley.com. Take care.